Hello, everyone. This is Sarcastic Course, and welcome to the first and hopefully last
Great.
Sarcastic podcast. Please meet the rest of my cast because we are here to talk about Owl House Season 2, the thing I promised to review weekly till I gave up and realized it was too much work. Artis, you want to start out?
Sure, I'm Artiste TB. I talk about cartoons and crap on my channel. Do a little animated talk show, Cartoon Confessions. It is what it is.
Very fun. I saw you did the Black Dynamite video recently.
Yes, sir! Giving that show the respect it fucking deserves.
Such a fucking great show. And of course, we also have Charles.
Hey, yeah, I'm Charles J. Thomas, and I just do theories on cartoons and stuff. Sometimes I do reviews as well. My main shows right now are kind of like Husband Hotel and Head of a Boss and Our House, obviously. So yeah.
And man, I've been loving all your videos lately, Charles, but it broke my heart when I saw that you did the Kid Cosmic 2 video that posted up
Oh,
recently.
really?
I was like, oh my god, someone's finally talking about the show that isn't me.
Oh yeah, yeah. No one covers it. I was like the only one who did it last time as well.
Actually, when I say it was me, that's kind of a lie. I had the video recorded. I had it the first 2 minutes edited. And just as I was sitting there, I was like, I don't want to do this.
Oh.
And just gave up on it. And I've just been kicking myself over it ever since. But thank you so much for talking about that show because it deserves the attention. It's great. If you guys
Oh,
haven't seen
totally.
Kid
Yeah.
Cosmic, absolutely go check it out. We're not here for any of that Netflix shit today. Today, you know it, you love it, and it's apparently the only thing on Disney Channel adults are watching. It's The Owl House. So, just for funs, what did y'all think of this first season of The Owl House? Because I know I personally liked it, but it felt very much like it's still trying to figure out what it wants to be. I definitely felt with that season finale, is like, okay, we're gonna see the show that this place really wants to do. There's a lot of dumb shit. It kind of reminds me of Star vs. The Force of Evil season 1, where it's like, we need to have a school, we need to have these friends. And it was only like after that, we're like, okay, no, we can do the show that we fully want to be, the real creator's vision. And I definitely feel like we 100% are getting that in season 2. Again, I still like season 1. It's just, it was stumbling a little bit to me.
Oh yeah, I mean, I totally agree. It was going very slowly. It felt like they had to. It felt like they had to fill a quota of Hexside episodes, and obviously, like the plot wasn't really set up for like episodes and episodes. It was all just kind of these self-contained episodic episodes, and it was like it was fun, and I really loved the characters, but it wasn't living up to what it could be, you know. So yeah, I feel that.
Like, I liked the first season. It was okay. I could easily just skip episode 1 on rewatching, but I'm going to be comparing it a lot to Steven Universe just because it reminds me so much of it.
Sure.
How the first season was, it's okay, it's cool. End of season 1, like, whoa, shit hitting the fan. Now something's happening. In the follow-up of season 2, which we're just going to get into later, after, like, full disclosure with Steven Universe, it just went downhill for me. But with Owl House season 2, it keeps going. It builds off of each other. It's what I've been missing in my life.
It's got that episodic feel, but every episode builds a narrative in some way, either in some character stuff, some world building, or they just feel like it's the real narrative. It's just Luce and Amity getting together.
It's not wasting my fucking time.
And it can't do that because this show, if you didn't know, kind of got fucked out of a third season.
Yeah.
Because it was originally gonna get this full 20 episode run, like each season, and somewhere down the line, we don't know any of the reason behind this, so we can only speculate. But third season of Owl House went from being like a 20 episode season, like normal, to just 3 45-minute specials. Are you shitting me on that? I'm like, really?
It's especially sad because obviously Dana's been very vocal about how she feels about it. You know, she's very upset herself, so it's pretty devastating, honestly. So
It just seems so weird because I love Amphibia, but it does not seem to be doing the same numbers that Owl House does, like by any metric. Like, I know Molly McGee's coming out, but beside, I don't know of anything. Like Big City Greens. Do any of you guys watch that?
I do.
No,
I
I do not.
It's always just a blip to me. That could be like one of the biggest shows, just like for kids wise. For the show that I hear people actually talk about, it's always Owl House, Owl House, Owl House.
Yeah. We talk about it because gay, and Ida. Ugh, Ida.
Give me more me, Ida, please.
Give me Harpy Ida. I'm sorry, Cores. How vulgar can I be on your channel?
I don't fucking care. Go for it.
Oh my gosh, I would eat that bird out. Let's go. I've eaten chicken all year, buddy.
Oh my god.
I think I'm already regretting this decision, but I guess we have to roll with it.
Feel late. I'm here.
All right, perfect. Leaving off of season 1, the portal to the human world's been destroyed. Emperor Bellos, the big bad, is basically doing the Disney contractually obligated portal to another world. Lilith decided that, okay, I guess I'm going to take the magic STD into myself, so both Lilith and Ida have the curse now, and Ida has no magic. So it's basically just loose with magic, and everyone else is kind of just being there to be responsible, or in Lilith's case, depressed. And going into that very first episode, which was Separate Tides, you basically kind of see just a continuation of, okay, things are kind of shitty. Luce is definitely blaming herself for all this, and as goes out of her way to have a little pirate adventure, try and get money so that she can support them. And overall, I kind of like this episode. But on rewatching it, I definitely feel like, okay, this is cool. This is like a great reintroduction, and I will probably be skipping this every rewatch now.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
What would you guys' personal takes? Because one of the great things about this, the Owl House in general, thank you, man, of 1,000 Thoughts, for like breaking this down. We're saying like this show really does break the fantasy of the fantasy setting. You have this girl in a fantasy world. It's like, okay, everything is gonna be fun. It's hunky dory. Except now she's trapped here, no money, and they're like, okay, so we have a problem, and we have to have a little bit of realism, like how they would deal with it. Because Luce can't eat everything in the boiling isles. Her mom is, I guess, I just basically call Ida her mom now. Because that's basically what
Pretty
she
much,
is.
pretty much.
So true, so true.
Is like, okay, I guess I have to stop drinking every night, so every Tuesday, we gotta save money for Luce. Because she can only eat those fucking expensive owl eggs.
Griffin eggs.
Griffin eggs. My bad?
It is being such a mother, and it's like, wow, she used to, like, when we first got to know her, she's like had no motherly qualities, or like she cared, but like she didn't really show as much. But now it's like, man, I gotta like hunker down, take care of this kid, and like I still got King, and it's like, aw, development. We stand.
Yeah. Like the episode with Rain went into like a emptiness syndrome where she's really worried about King and Luce leaving, so that's like huge kind of development in how her like relationship with Luce, I guess. So yeah.
This episode I thought was pretty good. What was one thing that fucking killed me though this whole time? Luce and Ida both end up unknowingly both go on this one ship for a pirate adventure where, thank God, they just immediately decide to skip the whole, oh, we don't respect you here on this pirate ship. One montage later, it's like, we respect you now. I'm like, oh, thank God they're skipping like the more basic trope stuff.
Yeah.
Then they're all having this adventure, but in the background, I'm like, damn, what are they gonna do with everyone else? It's fucking Lilith and Hootie becoming best friends.
Unexpected, but I kind of like it.
I loved it. I think they're great together. I was really sad when she left because I thought they had like a really funny dynamic together.
100%.
Yeah.
I've always been a bit of a Hootie stan.
You
Guys,
would.
like, again, he's a little bit annoying. It hit that Meg territory of like, yo, you guys gotta stop talking so much shit. He's not that bad. He's annoying, but treat him like family or don't. Stop in-betweening it.
Mhm.
To have that one
Yeah.
member of the family just come in and is like, hey, I think I'm gonna treat you with respect. I'm gonna joke around. You're weird, but you mean well. And I'm like, thank you so much, Lilith, for seeing the real Hootie. The Hootie that we all know and respect.
Yeah, I agree that Hootie does get crapped on way too often, but like there's just times where I'm like, Hootie, you are being a little shit right now, and you need to just get off that. But I love King. King is my little buddy.
I don't like King.
Yeah.
I know.
I remember you made a post sarcastic that was like the show doesn't need two little animal buddies or something, and I wasn't sure
You
who you
can
meant.
merge these two characters. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save Alex Hirsch a paycheck. It's like, yeah, I get you have two of them. It honestly would not take that much work to combine their roles in the story. They both have that obnoxious, like, cute character thing going. We really don't need to have them doubled up like this.
Okay. When we get to King's episode, I swear, because he's so cute. He's so baby.
I have
He is-
comments about that as well.
Oh. Okay.
The one thing I also want to get you guys' opinion on. What was your first thoughts on the Golden Guard?
I wish he was older. I honestly wish he was older, more of a young adult, and he kept his mask on the entire time because he was more fun that way.
I know just in this first episode for me, the voice, yeah, it caught me off guard.
I thought it was going to be older as well. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he just comes in and is like, bye. I'm like, how old are you supposed to be again?
Exactly.
Are you 14, 15? Like, again, they're going for like the little shit angle. That was just a bit of I kind of found it a bit unexpected. I knew he was
Yeah.
gonna be this role. I basically called him like, I thought he was gonna be like the evil like Hexside student that was secretly working for Bellos, but here he's just like, oh no, I'm gonna be an antagonist. I'm replacing Lilith. From that very beginning, he's like, oh, King, you're kind of oddly adorable. I'm like, okay, there it is. They're not trying to make him that bad. They're gearing up for something, but I'm not sure what.
Sure hope it ain't gonna be a redemption arc, because I did see your video about the
Oh,
Golden
did you?
Guard. Yeah, it's really well done, and I really do
Thank
hope
you.
that your theory comes true.
Yeah,
Hey, Charles, do you want to go more into it?
wait. Do I want to get into it? Wait, I think I'll leave it for now because I'm just like frazzled right now. I think I'll let people watch the video if they want to. So yeah.
Plug,
Sure.
plug.
It was an interesting first introduction to the Golden Guard. Like, I don't know where he's gonna go with this. I thought like he could be villain, he could be antagonist. I didn't expect the look that he was given, but I was definitely excited to see more. That was the best thing I can say about this episode. I was definitely excited to see more after this.
Yeah, like he was mysterious. Like he was, kind of like unexpected, but he was mysterious. You wanted to learn more, and I guess it does a good job of setting up later. I guess I don't know. I was kind of neutral on him first episode.
Matisse, any final thoughts?
I know for you, this first half of the season one it wasn't so funny, but I appreciate just like the quick humor, especially the stuff that happened in the background. Like they go monster hunting and they see this giant bulletin board. It's called Greg's List. That kills me. I like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like small humor that I really appreciate. It doesn't like get a massive laugh out of me, but House definitely knows how to get the chuckle.
Love it. It's wholesome. Luce is realizing she's having an impact on people's lives. That must make my girl feel so happy because she had literally no one but her mom in the human realm. So it's like knowing that her whole vibe actually does better for people's lives. Ugh, yes.
Going on to episode 2 then. Escaping expulsion. We talked about, I thought the Golden Guard was going to be something else. I feel like you could apply that 100% and more to Amity's parents.
Oh my
Is this
gosh,
the episode where we
yes.
get to meet them?
I thought they were like cult leaders or some shit, but like, no, they just like salespeople, which is almost just as bad.
Or CEOs.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is the episode that goes from, okay, Amity isn't as focused, so the parents kick the kids. Okay, let's be honest. If they kick Luce and her extras out of Hexside.
Oh, jeez.
And from there, Luce has to then make a deal with the mom, which nearly gets her killed. And Amity has to come in, save the day. And she calls her Luce, and there's a blush. And that was the only thing Twitter seemed to remember from the episode. Overall, I really like this, but it's a very me problem. Not everyone's gonna have this issue. But I could not take the mom seriously, Amity's mom.
Right.
It's just Haley Smith from American Dad. It's
Oh
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
voice
yeah.
actress.
Right?
It's just Haley doing this snooty voice. I just can't unhear it.
I've been seeing big people compare like Odalia and Alador. Like that's literally Haley and Jeff.
Oh
my gosh.
Oh my! I can actually see it now with Jeff.
Yup.
It's like Odalia, I'm like, okay, tech woman, not exactly what I was expecting, but I can. As soon as she starts talking, I'm like, I can't unhear Haley. Like I was expecting a Grey Delisle to come in and do this voice because she's already in the show doing some other characters. I was like, yeah, strong, a little bit intimidating, exactly what I need. Here I'm like, so you're snooty, bit of a bitch.
She's bougie. Giving me anti-vaxxer vibes.
No, that's Ida's mom.
Oh!
Oh yeah, true.
And we'll get to them. But overall, I really like this episode. I'll say Aldor is easily my fave just because he's like, just wants to go work. He wants to go play with his butterflies. Wants to like focus on that dumb little shit. He's just wandering around.
Do you think he's just as bad as Odalia? Because I've been hearing people like say we've been criticizing Odalia, but no one's talking about Alador, and he's just letting all this happen, and he's all absent-minded and seems tired all the time. But he's just as much abusive.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the episode, Odalia's like, because Luce and Amity, like, they got everyone to buy their fucking abomination robots, and she's like, I'm still gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna make sure. Then he's like, oh, we're gonna honor our deal. He's like, why? And she's like, cause Amity plus this other girl seems to be making Amity stronger. And that's very good for the family. The other twins aren't going to do shit, apparently. Yeah, Aldor definitely seems like he's not actively being harmful. Oh yeah, he's cute. He's quirky inventor, but no, he still has that very much the family prestige. He's just not as vocal and pushing as Odalia is.
Yeah. I kind of like a lot of people are giving him a free pass and saying, "Oh, he just said that to make Odalia stop." But I definitely think he's no. That's really stupid to me. If you remember in Understanding Willow, he was also giving a speech to Amity about how she can't mix with normal children. She has to
lesser witches.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's definitely, despite his appearance, just as bad. And obviously, I don't know. I just people are simping for him, and that's another reason why people are just
people like the tired dad.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously, he's gonna get a free pass for that.
People are simping for Odalia too.
Oh yeah, definitely. They were pretty thick, to be honest. She's got the mom what people like. So
I got that Hartman hips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to say this, but Gus hit puberty.
Good
Yeah.
for him. Finally
Yes.
matching his VA.
So every time they're like a kid, when you have like the child actors that then age up, there's always like there's always like some excuse they have to do in the cartoons because either A, replace him, or B, change the character. So I'll always remember back in Hey Arnold, where oh my god, the black kid,
Gerald.
he kept his voice actor the entire show, and he went through puberty and like shit, got his tonsils removed. So that's why I will explain why his voice is suddenly deeper.
Yeah, I love that when they did it in 2012 TMNT when they switched out Leonardo's voice for the final season. They're like, why does he sound so different? It's like, oh, he got kicked in the throat.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, I'm glad that they decided like, no, he just went through puberty in universe. That definitely makes it a lot better.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely didn't help him get any more attention though, sadly.
My poor
No.
boy.
Token male, it's okay.
He's literally Bo.
Oh, Bo had a lot more personality and interactions with the crowd.
And Bo had twice as many dads.
Yeah, I've got Gus opinions, but I'll save them for the Looking Glass Ruins.
Yeah, so the principal was fucking great in this episode, literally crying that he had to keep sending the kids away whenever they tried to sneak in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's kind of like that hidden secondary gem that I just love because every time he's in an episode, it's always a hit for me.
Yeah, he's great.
Also, Willow's dads plural, confirmed.
Adorable.
Ray for diversity. I know nothing about their character though.
No.
Which I could go on a whole tangent about that, but I'm not doing that today. I already did that in a different video.
Do it.
Background dads don't get enough appreciation. Yada yada yada. My lesbian video. Blah blah blah. Gay males need love too, y'all.
Yeah.
100% true. Because apparently women being lesbians is easier sell than men loving men.
I'm flipping my
yeah.
lid. Ah.
So one joke that I just made me sit back and think that when Amity, Gus, and Willow were trying to break in like the whole tech demo, Gus is playing like, oh, I'll illusion some hot ladies to lure the guards away, and Willow just goes, "You can't do this, Gus. This isn't a cartoon from the 40s." So not only does the Boiling Isles have a 40s, they had cartoons as well.
Bigger question is that Gus can make his own adult media if he wanted to.
Oh.
Ugh.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, it kind of makes sense because he's in like the Human Appreciation Club, right? So he would know about that, you know?
Ah.
How would Willow know though?
Yes.
Maybe he would make some watch him. I don't know.
I'm wondering if like there's actual like Boiling Isles cartoons, so that makes me think, wait, they have animation in the Boiling Isles too?
I mean,
They
they
have
have like
TVs?
they have like an Instagram equivalent, and they have
They do,
streaming.
yeah.
And crystal balls is how they watch television, essentially.
That just made me sit back and think, it's like, wait, how does this work? Is that just human world, or are they just talking about the boil? So many questions of that joke, so much to unpack.
Yeah.
You know what else really needs to be unpacked is like, does Amity really care for Willow or Gus? Because it's like, it's always about loose, and I get it, that's her crush, but like, that's your crush's bestest friends, and one of which you used to bully, but now you guys are kind of cool, and you two need to work on that relationship to be better standing with your best friend's friend.
Oh, that's all bridge under the water now because they're together.
Ah!
Yeah, that's not going to be addressed. I can feel it. It's just too late in the game.
Oh, well. But I will say, Lilith being a teacher's pet, adorable. I love that.
Yeah.
Great. Lilith, this episode has just been the absolute goth queen right now. Just depressed, trying to figure everything out, and stuck living with her sister. It's just absolutely adorable.
Yeah, I agree. Lilith skyrocketed to my like favorite character in the early season. I was really sad to see her leave, like I said earlier. So yeah.
It's funny because back in the reveal of what Lilith did, when she was like, "I was so easy to curse,"
Yeah.
people were losing their
Yeah.
shit. You would have thought that Lilith did a hate crime. Like, what the fuck? People were so angry at her.
I know, right?
Essentially. That's like the equivalent of giving your sister like a chronic illness.
Again, she didn't know. She thought it was just gonna be like a temporary, like 2-day sickbed thing.
True. Sucks that it happened.
Yeah.
Sucked that it like basically ruined Ida's life.
It did.
She has to live with
And
that.
after that, Lilith never confessed.
But it's cool that they're learning like glyph magic and they're realizing, oh, I guess there is only 4 glyphs. And I'm like, okay, so we're getting Avatar vibes. They're explaining the magic system, but it's not like exposition. They're learning, so we're learning with them. Yes, give me that.
I definitely got very much, I don't know if you guys remember this. There was an old iPhone game when I was younger. It was like Alchemy or something like that. Like you start with the 4 elements and you can combine them together to create new elements.
Ooh. That sounds
Then
cool.
you
That's cool.
combine them back together. It was like just this ever expanding thing of stuff you can do. Like they mix like water and earth to make mud. You added fire to mud. You got bricks.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
It very much remind me of this what they're doing with the glyph. So there's different combinations, and I'm assuming you can even add like another glyph to that combination to create a different combination, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, like in hunting palismen, I thought it was really interesting how like Lou said the plant, which changed the spell. I really like that.
I'm glad that they don't fully like have entire episodes where they break down how all this works.
No.
This has been like I get enough of the general idea. I'm just like, if I had a plant, it does something different. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
'Cause I like anime, I like power systems. I don't need you to explain everything about the power system in the exact science of how it works. Sometimes I can just accept it on good faith.
Or just let you like think of it on your own, because it's like now that we know there's only 4 glyphs and they need to be set up in a pattern. It's like imagine what a fire and a plant glyph can make. If fire and ice can make like mist, and you put like a potted plant there, you can make like a misted scent or something. Ooh, imagine the possibilities. Like I want to know what glyph combination did Luce use to make herself invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that because that is the next. Do you guys just want to go into the next episode?
Yeah.
It's Echoes of the Past. This is the King origin story.
I love it.
Where we go to his long lost home, all because he wants to prove to Lilith that yes, he is a king. Yes, does have all these armies. Yes. Oh wait, no, that's true, but it might technically be true because apparently his dad was a fucking giant.
Yeah.
So I will go out and say that I think this episode's fine. I'm not a King fan, so this doesn't do much for me. I like the potential world building. I like the idea that maybe King's dad might be the Titan or fought the creature that became the Titan in a
Yeah.
way past.
Mhm.
He's a more tolerable Eric Cartman.
Oh my god.
That he
Really?
very much wants his attention. Like, I am important. I am so cool. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up and let Hootie take more screen time.
See, the difference
Wow.
is King is adorable.
I will say that when they do like the past, show him like baby, he just has a giant little skull head. I'm like, wow, he's so cute. Maybe even too cute. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to give me diabetes here? Like, I think he's adorable, but I'm just saying here, I'm like, you're pushing it. You're pushing
Yeah,
this
I'm-
maybe a little bit too far.
Oh, he's so small. Look at his little body, and he got his both little horns and his big ass eyes. I want a plush. Disney, I want 10 plushes of it.
Disney
Yeah.
doesn't do merchandise unless it's already making merchandise.
I've seen
Yeah.
people make their own plushes versions of it all, and I'm like, A, is that legal? B, I kind of want one.
So what did y'all think of this episode? Because I liked it. I loved Hootie ripping himself out of the house.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. Great. I wish they showed what he did on screen.
Oh no.
I know.
I'm glad to not have seen it because it looked disgusting.
That's exactly what I want to see here. I just I think the show was cowardly and it needed to show that scene. That's very important.
That's how you save on animation.
True. Oh yeah, the
What do
episode.
you guys think just overall?
The episode was pretty cool. It was kind of setting up something bigger. I do like King. I don't feel like a lot happened really. We learned some lore, I guess, but it was all just set up for me. So I was just kind of like, okay, this is not much happening. Not much is happening, but it might amount to something. I wasn't really one of the weaker ones for me this season, to be honest.
I liked seeing like Hootie and Lilith's friendship again. It is cute, and Ida,
That was the best part.
and Ida's little
Yeah.
tub mobile from the first episode of season 2. Like I like the little nods and threads of continuity, and yeah, even though this one was far more lore heavy, I liked that King was actually given some humanity, and he essentially had a mental breakdown of learning like his true origin, and it was like heartbreaking.
It was so sad. He spent all this time believing that he was a king, all because Ida Lily's like, fuck, I don't know. Sure, I'll enable this.
He was your baby, making his own little subjects. He's your baby. That's my baby.
He's not a child anymore. He must learn.
He's becoming a D man.
He needs to learn that he's a D piece of shit and needs to get a job.
Wow.
Kills me.
I do think King is fine. I do like that we find out more about his past. It will still forever say that YouTubers' favorite thing in cartoon shows, it isn't action, it's fucking murals.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
YouTubers lose their shit over that because it's just nonstop videos like, what does this mean? What could this possibly say about the story? Who could this giant be? Who is he fighting? I'm like, yeah, I
oh
can
my
see the videos
gosh.
already being written in my head.
You know, that takes me back to the Steven Universe, like where they first talked about the murals when they went to that upside down trapezoid thing. And people were like, that's pink diamond. No, that's white diamond with a triangle head and yada yada. Like, whoa. What is with the murals in cartoons these days?
It's just easy theory video bait.
So you give me more spell books. I'd love to see if Luce gets a spell book and if they could sell it like they did the Starverses one. Because I actually bought the spell book.
Really, I think I bought that too.
It's so cool.
It was. I thought it would be longer for some reason though.
I'd wish it was bigger.
Yeah, and I was so hyped. I was waiting for season 4. Then I got it.
Disappointed.
I will never say that I've never screamed at my TV screen before.
Oh Lord.
This finale for Star Versus didn't get me there. It was 6 hours later where I was still drinking, and then I decided to watch Game of Thrones finale.
Oh jeez.
The ending to that had me saying, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I audibly booed at the screen during certain points.
Go home, Cars, you're drunk.
I deserved it after that day. It was a hard day. 2 not very good. Okay, 1 absolutely terrible finale. I earned that rum and coke. Actually, I think that was whiskey. I don't even remember anymore. That's how much I was drinking.
Fuck.
Overall, I do like this episode. King is adorable. I don't really care for him in general, but this is not an episode I see myself revisiting, because it's like, okay, King has a past. His dad might be out there. The exact extent of everything you need to know from this episode.
Yeah.
Hootie is becoming more enduring for me from this episode, and just I think it was Lilith's line about, like we're ancient historians, like how could we miss this thing? Like, oh, I wonder what else we could be missing. And I'm over here like, history, leaving stuff out in the public masses for education. Don't know anything about that.
This episode had a lot of like little moments of great animation, like when Luce turns around and runs, or when Hootie's like explosively vomiting out the potions. The show looks really good, and that's like
That looked amazing, yeah.
these little moments. I'm like, Owl House, you don't need to be trying. I really appreciate that you do.
They put their foot in it.
Have you ever gone back to season 1 and noticed how much like more awkward the art is in the episodes?
I haven't really, but I believe it.
Yeah, there's some very goofy shots of Luce specifically, but yeah.
But they still got some goofy shots later on, and we'll get to that haircut later.
Okay.
I also will just want to last thing. I love how this show just embraces body horror.
Yeah.
That's not something you see in a lot of kid shows. And like that fucking stone like flesh golem that they're fighting.
Ugh.
It's just like, yes, this is just the right amount of creepy that I want. How it's like stone, but like it's connected by all like this tissue. I'm like, I love all of this.
I agree. There aren't enough shows giving traumatizing children these days.
Not since
I know.
Courage.
No, I was thinking of Courage when I said that.
Yeah.
You guys have one episode that traumatized you more than any other? I remember mine.
Is it the one where it's like return the mask? That shit scared me.
It was Return the Slab.
Return
Yes, that was
the
it.
Yeah.
slab. Try to block it out of my mind.
Fucked me up as a child.
What's the one with that CGI abomination? The blue talking face. I didn't like that.
Ugh.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that one too. So moving on to the next one. Keeping up A-fear-ances.
I like the
This-
puns.
It was good. And this one was where we get to meet Ida's mother. Who,
She
surprise,
means
surprise,
well.
believes in alternative medicine.
She means well, but she just didn't listen to her kids.
Or she very much felt like, oh, these guys are all hacks. I'll believe this other person that I've been paying exorbitant my entire life savings. That's seniors, I guess.
Oh, and
Yeah.
like I love how Luce actually asks questions. She's curious. She's like, "That was your mom," and Ida's like, "Oh, now you're curious about my backstory?" And she's like, "I'm always curious." And I'm like, "Yes, good child protagonist. Asks fucking questions."
I don't think she's amazing, but I feel like what she is so fucking good at is being an audience surrogate. She's got a lot of her stories, but she's asking the same questions that we are asking. Inquisitive, she's curious. She's also very genre savvy. And you can tell this girl was raised by TV. So everyone like we see like a trope that we want to roll our eyes at. She's like, oh, this. I'm like, holy shit. She brought up like last season where they're doing like the sports montages. I'm like, ugh, this is so cute that they're like bringing this up. You had like the second episode, she's like, thinks she's gonna be the chosen one. It's having her be on that same level as us is like kind of like knowing about stories, not just being like completely blind, like, oh, I'm just gonna be wherever the plot wants me to be. No, she very much is active in that regard of like, I want something and I have all these questions about the world that I'm in, and I really appreciate that.
What do you think of her mom, though?
She's got guns, I'll give her that. I think she's really interesting just because we get to see how she kind of ended up alienating her daughter by saying, "No, she's not gonna just live with this. The curse, better or worse, is a part of Ida now.
Mhm.
Something that Ida has to live with for the rest of her life." And having her mom kind of say, "No, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna make this right," and just making Ida feel like there's something genuinely wrong with her. You can see why that would cause Ida to run away from home. We also see how the mom ignores Lilith because Lilith was a self-sufficient child.
Yeah.
And even though she appeared that she didn't need much attention, she actually really kind of needed that emotional support.
Yeah. She's very, as obviously, Edith's curse is a very obvious mental illness allegory, you know? So it's kind of like parents who like kind of treat their illness like it's this kind of horrible thing when it's like a part of their child, and
Because like I think I recently just saw Toon Rune's video on Edith's curse and how they're handling it like it's like a chronic illness or a mental illness, and how she was comparing it to like her being on the autism spectrum. And I too on the spectrum can relate. Like the curse and Ida aren't separate. She and the
Yeah.
curse are one and the same, and she's learned to live with it and to deal with it. And she's also like learned some advantages from it too. Like her limbs can pop off because of the side effects of it, but that can be handy sometimes. Pun not
Mhm.
intended.
I really like this episode. I loved we got to see, I guess it's not even owl Lilith, it was more of a raven. That was an absolute killer design. And it was
Yeah.
painful to watch his mom just be like, "Oh, they don't need those potions," like, because it's so transparent that she's like buying
Yeah.
into like this medical bullshit of like, "Oh, or she's almost cured, I just need to buy the other volume."
Oh, she's getting snake oiled.
And yes, that's it. And I don't want to say, I don't know what it was. The fact that I feel like healing crystals just become the thing to mock right now in cartoons.
Yeah. The latest episode of American that was about that actually.
I know, I saw that too, and that's what made me think about it. This feels like the thing. This is current, but it already feels dated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the, oh yeah, oh, ha ha ha, look how silly this is. I'm like, I get it. Do we need this though?
I
Like, it
agree.
works perfectly for her character,
It
100%.
does. Yeah.
Can we just talk about Ida's mom fucking threatening the one guy at the end?
Oh, so good. I wish she did more. I wish she sent those fire bees on them.
I agree.
And let's get you. I just want you guys' opinion on this last final bit. What was your take on Luce's doppelganger and that final stinger at the end of this episode? Not what we learned about her later, but when you saw that scene, what was your thought process? Like, what did you guys think?
I don't know. Like, I was just like, I had no idea what it was, to be honest. I had this crazy theory, but I forgot about it now. I made a video on it. That's kind of.
I just remember audibly gasping because, like, Owl House, what I love, what it does is, like, it sets us up on one path and thinking you're gonna lead us down there, but makes a hard right. And it's like, I didn't expect that. This is getting interesting. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Doppelganger. Clones? Experimentations? Ooh. That's why I'm so happy this show airs weekly. Gives time to, like,
Yeah.
fester in your brain.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember seeing that, I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like looking at what everyone else was saying. I was like, people were losing their goddamn minds. I was like,
Of course they are.
we already knew that there was someone in here, like they were sending letters to Luce's mom. Or like knowing that there's someone that's like physically resembling her in the humor, I was like, wow, that's cool. It wasn't this big like shock value. If we didn't get those letters, I feel like this would have just hit like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like everyone kind of goes off the deep end when it comes to like more of the mysterious sides of stuff, and when it comes to like over analyzing or over theorizing, bro, let's just sit down and take a deep breath, breathe it all in first.
That was basically me with WandaVision.
Yeah.
I love me some theories. I love like people having ideas, but there's a certain point where you got to realize that you're having some great ideas. I love how you're tying like all this evidence to prove whatever you're saying, how this is all really the devil. At a certain point, you got to recognize you're just being too complicated for a casual show like this.
Yeah, that's kind of why I stopped watching a lot of theory videos so heavily, because it's like sometimes theories can build false expectations in your mind, and if it doesn't play out like you thought it would, then it's just disappointing. That's what burnt me out from Steven Universe, honestly.
Yeah, that show was a gold mine for anyone in that business at the time, and I respect your game for getting those subs. Every video I ever watched, I was like, okay, so proven wrong in 3, 2, well, there it is.
Or if they get it right, it's like almost like a spoiler, but they didn't intend it. But it's like, wow, they hit the nail on the head. Good for them. It's like when the round table. I didn't watch the video because like I've been trying to avoid theory videos for Owl House. We're like, trying to make a prediction about Ida controlling the curse.
Yeah, but I feel like that's an easy one, though.
Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah.
It's like, oh, Ida doesn't have magic anymore. Are we gonna give her the same power set as Luce and have that be somewhat uninteresting? Or hey, maybe this giant curse demon that we've already seen her be able to half control, maybe she'll be able to reach some peace with that thing. I'm like, yeah, I can. She's probably gonna like control it somehow, which we'll get more into her harpy form because that is fire.
Ugh.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. I'm just gonna say the parents. I love what the Owl House is doing, like the portrayal of like different levels of parents. Like Ida herself, I love how she's just calling herself Mama more often in third person. Such a mood for me. But like we see how Ida is becoming more motherly and adapting to that. We see Luce's mom, who isn't a bad mom. People are just
No, fuck
mean.
no, she's not.
No.
And like Odalia being the textbook manipulative, abusive mother, and it's just I like how the Owl House is portraying different forms of parents in households.
Then
I
you
agree
have
with that.
Belos.
Oh my gosh.
We'll get to that can of worms.
Yeah.
Like spoiled cheese.
Yeah.
Really like this episode. It's probably in my top 4 for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure exactly where I placed it, but absolutely loved it. Ida's mom is great. The one critique I'll ever give this is that it took Lilith away from us.
Oh yeah, totally.
Poor Hootie. He lost his only friend.
No, I don't care about that. We lost Lilith. What are we gonna do without her sassy ass just helping us out?
So true.
I felt it was kind of contingent or random that Gwendolyn would have the exact information Luce is looking for in terms of like, oh, you need some info about the human world and portals? Well, I got a little story for you that my great grandmother told me about. Like, there was a human who was here once and he donated his journal to the library. I'm like, that's oddly specific for you to know.
Old people do talk to other old people, so
True, we
I guess
got
they would share those same exact stories.
I mean, you know, it's a human being in that world is like big enough that it's spread around to a lot of people. So you know, and obviously you got to get leeway for contrivances because you know they got to go fast. You know, so
I gotta tie it into that next episode.
Which I appreciate, building off of each other, wasting no time.
yeah.
So let's talk about that. Through the Looking Glass Ruins, the Gus episode.
Oh, it was the Gus episode? I thought it was the Lucidity episode.
I mean, they were the B plot. Then they kissed, and that just became the only thing everyone could remember.
Shame.
It's to be expected. What do you guys think about Gus and his role episode? Was this enough to win you guys over to really improve your view? Did he feel more like a member of the team? Or did this kind of feel like a pity episode where they were just giving him something so they could build time to space out these Lamity moments?
They basically gave him the same shtick he got last season, where it's like he is in a group with other people, other students who are skilled or knowledgeable, and he's trying to prove himself. This time it's with like Galandis kids, and the Galandis kids are assholes. And I'm glad he got a cool moment in showing his illusion magic, and like I can see how illusions can be the Shadon magic in the demon realm versus like, oh, you can use abominations and create creatures, you can control plants. What can you do? Make holographic party tricks? Sure.
Yes. So I think this episode wasn't because it was out of pity. Like I feel like they would have expanded a lot more on Willow and Gus in this season, but they have to cut it down. But I think what they're doing now is they got the Gus episode to show what he can do with illusion magic, and the next time we see Willow, we're gonna see what she can like do with like her plant magic, and that's why they got to get that out before the final battle. You know.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna bring back those power stones eventually. That was the whole thing the Galandis kids wanted to steal from the tomb.
I mean, they're kind of used again, weren't they? For the Grimwalker kind of potion. I think so. I think that was written. I'm not too sure actually, but I feel like it was.
Yeah, I guess that's how that will be brought back in later. I did enjoy this episode. I thought, yes, you're right, Artis, that this does feel like a little bit of a retread of Gus's arc. Just having him be insecure about his powers instead of like being the human connoisseur. And I was definitely glad that he got this episode, but it doesn't really make up for the fact that this show is, let's be real, have the Owl House of King, Ida, and Luce. You have Amity. Everyone else in the show kind of exists in this as we need them basis.
Yeah.
Because Willow is almost, I feel like Willow just retroactively feels like a character that existed just to introduce Luce to Amity. Have us go from this possibly bully to friend to girlfriend. Like, because Willow doesn't get like, oh, she has this big angry moment where she's like, you really fucked me up. You bullied me for years. I'm not completely over it, but maybe something can happen later. And I like that she has this whole background story of she's kind of being accepted by the school now that she's in the plant course, and now she's using her talents. That's all very background, and just
Mm-hmm.
Willow hasn't done
Yeah.
shit since.
Yeah.
No.
It kind of would have been interesting if the show was more like romance heavy than it was action adventure and mystery. That like if Willow and Luce had a thing or crush on each other before Amity came in, I would have loved to see that tea. I would have kikied about that all night.
I would have just preferred that we have Willow be a little bit more bitter about Amity.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just kind of skipped that point of like, they're fine. I don't think Willow and Amity are like great friends, but they both agree that they're mutuals because of Luce.
See, that's something that kind of bugs me, and I forgot to mention it when we were talking about the first episode of season 2, that, like, Willow should recognize Luce and Amity's parents. Like, why didn't Willow, of all people, speak up more and with Luce about, like, Amity, tell them we're not bad, or whatnot, or, like, Amity, see, I'm becoming a better witch. Prove it! Prove it!
Everyone thought they were going to be Sokka and Katara. They
Aw.
turned out to be Suki. Overall, I liked Gus's bit in the episode. It does kind of feel like a skip. And then it's with Luce and Amity is where like, oh yeah, this is the shit that you'll actually like remember because it's plot progression for the next one. I do think
Yeah.
though the best line in the whole thing though is when Luce just goes like, hey Gus, I need your library card. His flat out says, oh, so you're gonna go see Amity. She's
Yeah.
like sweating. She's like, no. He's like, I know what this shit is. Like, don't treat me like I'm stupid. You're simping hard on this one.
Like, I could do both. Ironically, I like that, like, Amity's more included because Luce actually needs her help with the Echo Mouse and whatever. I don't want to say it gives an excuse as to why she's here more often, which feels weird to see her more often, I'll be honest. But, like, at least they gave us a reason.
It's super cute seeing them, like, try to go to, like, the forbidden section of the library. Get a lot more Lamity moments. Yes, I call it Lamity just because I like saying it more than Lumity.
I like Lucity.
Fair enough.
Either way, people will be mad at us.
Then I felt kind of shitty because Luce literally gets Amity fired from her job.
Yeah.
They make each other do crazy things, and that's what happens when you're in love, Chorus. When you're in love, you do crazy, stupid things. And I like how they portray the teenage romance, and I'm like, okay, this is cute. This is exactly how teenagers would be falling in love. This is adorable romance, but it's cute.
Then we proceed to get the L's to take all L's and Amity's new haircut.
I do not like her bangs at all.
I don't
think
like
they
the
better in later episodes, but here in this first look, I don't know if her bangs are too short or her head is just too big. It doesn't look good. Like, I've seen fan art where this looks fantastic. But in the show, it's not great. That green hair with like the roots is just iconic. And this pink hair, like, yay, she's separating herself from her parents. She's choosing her identity. And I'm like, it looks worse.
It's like somehow shorter. She already had short hair, but like it just looks thinner.
I really don't like the brown streaks. I think that looks terrible with the purple, to be honest.
Someone had some great fan art where like it showed like older Amity and Luce, where like pink is like held back again and like the brown are kind of like locks, like Link's hair in Breath of the Wild. I thought that was really good. But yeah, here where it's just like hidden streak behind your ear, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't need to be there.
I definitely agree with that. Yep.
I think Amity actually has an undercut. I've been seeing people like point it out in like the first episode she made an appearance in, and when she grabbed Luce in that abomination cauldron, that they took notice of like, wait, look at her hair. Or when Ida lifted up her hair when they were cheating, like, I guess she does kind of have an undercut.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we're just in agreement that, yeah, we're like, on the new look.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm getting more used to it though, because at first it really gave me whiplash, but I'm kind of, I've accepted it.
It's in the new intro, so I got to.
Yeah.
So I did check. The bangs are significantly shorter in the first episode than they are in the next one. So it's a bucket of cold water in its first appearance, but you slowly get used to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And, like, it was...
So they kissed.
I was gonna say, it was cute, that was cute, but, like, where is the consent?
They're teenagers.
Consent!
And it was just a kiss.
On the cheek, surprised. Yeah, that's just me bitching. Consent.
Yeah, super cute episode. Gus, I feel bad how overshadowed Gus's storyline gets just by the fandom, because I do think it's a fine episode.
It is.
But it does feel like a season 1 episode to me.
Oh, it was...
Yeah, just nothing happens in it. It's in that plot. So
The bleeding statues were scary, though.
they were. I did really enjoy the imagery during that scene. So yeah,
That one sequence is killer.
it was.
Or that body horror that I love so much in this show. Next up, hunting palismens. Hunting palismen?
Yeah.
One where we find out what Hunter really looks like. And the fangirls screamed in delight.
It's another broken white boy. Which,
And don't forget, he's blonde with magenta eyes.
I would bitch, but like I like Loki, so I have no room to talk.
You have zero. They gave him a scar so they can like pretend that he's a bad boy when he's really just a soft crying boy.
He's got a
Hey,
bucket tooth.
So basically Adrian from Miraculous Ladybug. Starting out with this episode, I really liked it. I feel like Hunter is at his best, or Golden Guard for the guys who didn't know his real name is Hunter, when he's with either Luce or another young kid. Because when he's just on his own, it's kind of like, okay, with that voice, boy, I can't take you seriously.
Yeah.
You do not command respect very much. I like it. Like, I love that they immediately go from, you think that, oh, this Sleeping Beauty moment, and she just slaps his ass awake. I'm like,
Yes.
I love that.
perfect.
That's amazing.
I like that.
People immediately started saying that they have this brother-sister relationship, and I totally buy that.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I really feel that.
I feel like these two are just ready to throw hands constantly, and I just enjoy it.
Oh, I'm here for it. But also, Hunter
But I
looks
think-
hella tired. That boy got Gucci bags under his eyes.
He really
He's got-
does.
Well, they're probably just as bad as mine, so I can't really say anything.
Right.
Yes, those are some heavy bags.
You think the stripes under my eyes are stripes?
I
No.
thought those are just raccoon marks.
No, they bags. I'm a tired tiger.
Y'all, I feel like all YouTubers are.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
So this thing introduces quite a lot. We got to meet Hunter, we got to see the Palismens, we got to see Bat Queen bring basically Pokemon Adoption Day.
It was so cute.
Like, I love that Willow got like her Bumblebee staff. It is so perfect for her plant theme.
But there was literally a plant-themed palisman like right there, though. Like there was a little
Mm.
rosebud.
They have the Basha, that's her name, Basha. I just call her Tom the girl.
You're not wrong.
She's super crabby, so she gets a crab. You have the one kid who, like, I just want to graduate, and gets a sloth palisman. I'm like, well, that's good for the joke, but some people don't know what they want to do yet. Why you gotta be
No.
like, why you gotta do the man like that?
Yeah.
You're right.
And Gus gets what he deserves, a chameleon, because he blends into the background and is invisible.
Ooh. And that one probably took the least amount of thought to do. He's like, I guess Gus does illusions, so we should just give him something that ties into that.
Oh no, that's true.
I think that legitimately sounds like just the entire thought process in general.
And like, I know they said Amity wasn't at school that day. I'm like, why? But like, why though? And is her palisman adopted, or did her parents make her one?
I want to say that they're rich, so they probably bought her one.
Mm.
She
I was
probably
think-
adopted.
Yeah, I was thinking like it might get passed down because like obviously it's like this esteemed family, so maybe it's like a kind of thing they pass down from generation to generation. Maybe it was O'Dolly's first or something.
It's like I hate how much I like it because it's like, oh, it's a white cat. It looks so elegant. I love it. And its name is Ghost. Ah, it's so cute.
Isn't it? Yeah, it really is. And I think it's based on. Is it based on Dana's cat? I think I saw that.
So
I'm
I was
pretty
thinking Sabrina the cat. Sabrina the
Right.
Teenage Witch. Did you really? Was it really that funny, Artis? Really?
No, because like they are teenage witches. It's fun. That's funny.
All right, while Artis is dying, let's continue on to the next point, which is
Sure.
Luce doesn't know what she wants.
Dude.
Luce literally in this episode, which again, it's breaking the fantasy of the fantasy show. You have this kid who's trapped. He's like, oh, I'm gonna find a portal, get my way home. And he's like, okay, what do you want to do after that? She's just like, fuck, I guess I do have to leave this place behind.
Yeah.
Which is just building up on that. Like, Luce, without the magic, which has been her whole arc this last 2 seasons, she really just gonna go home and be normal again after all this.
She can't do that. She can't go back to Connecticut and be regular.
Yeah, I don't think she'll go back, but I'll talk about that in the last episode maybe.
I have a
for sure.
strange feeling they might pull like a Starco where they have the worlds collide. Honestly,
I'd
really hope
hate
they
that.
don't.
I would really hate that.
Don't. You basically give the villain exactly what he wants.
Mhm.
Again.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know, because obviously if the two worlds merge, it's like you have that problem of who gets killed when they do the match.
This isn't like the fun fantasy of Starbirds. This is where everything is like super PC, super like, oh, this is just fun. They're like, oh, everyone, they look like monsters, but they're actually all stand-up people. This world, the Boiling Isles, is fucked.
Yeah.
The first thing you get to is like, oh, you're just this cute tooth fairy. He's like, give me your fucking teeth. I'm like, if that shit gets to the human world, shit's gonna be wild. People are gonna
Exactly, yeah.
die.
Mm. Yeah, I guess that would be tragic.
Goose doesn't know what she wants, so we have the whole palismen chase with Hunter where they both have to team up to fight Kiki. More of that great brother-sister bonding, and they all kind of just walk away after Hunter gets his own little palisman at the end.
And he knows a
Yeah.
lot about wild magic.
He does.
He's got all those illegal books Bellis has been burning.
Sorry, I have like a small theory of either Hunter resembles like the one of the two brothers, and people already noticed that, and Bellis resembles like one of the other brothers too, because I think this is the episode where they show his face for the first time.
That's Eclipse Lake.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, but his face is clips like yeah.
My bad.
This
But-
is where they reveal that Bellis has some weird condition where he
Mhm.
turns into like a sludge monster.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like I have a small idea or theory that Hunter is either like a clone of Bellis's like possible brother that came to this world, or he's the son of a witch. So that's why he has no magic, because he doesn't have his own vial sack.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think they kind of spoiled the whole clone angle a bit much. They did like the clone of the Ortet. I'm like, Google search. It's basically cloning of plants. That's what that means. Ortet is basically you take a branch off a plant, you replant that. The original is called the Ortet, while the branch that they took off grows to be basically a clone of the original.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I feel like it would have been better if they covered that up and not make it so obvious, because it has the eyes, it has like the Hunter nose. It is so obvious that this is what Hunter is going to be, basically an ingredient. Though again, this is all about the episode later.
I mean, I'd love if they turned around and said, actually, it's not a clone. It was all just a red herring. I'd laugh at that. I'd
Also
like
just
that.
trying to grow his hair back.
Mm-hmm. Like we de-aged ourselves.
Bellis's condition confuses me though, because we find out he's been eating palismens to keep this condition at bay. Where he
Mhm.
turns into this massive sludge monster. He literally starts beating the shit out of his own throne room, like in pain or something. But he doesn't need another palisman to turn back. It literally is like almost feels like a seizure where like it happens to him. He kind of loses his shit, but then he like is able to pull himself back together. So he doesn't need that magic to immediately change back.
Ooh, maybe he's cursed too, and he needs the palisman magic to like keep whatever's inside of him at bay. Ooh.
That's what I'm wondering, because it's weird. Maybe it's just kind of a side effect of using palismens to extend his life.
Yeah, because obviously his face is decaying and stuff, so that makes sense. Like his
I
human
always
body's
thought that looks
dying.
like a tentacle on his face.
Don't give the fangirls ideas.
Yes, fine.
Oh,
The hunting palismens. Again, the principal coming in to be the MVP, what with the reveal of his fucking hair.
Oh, you're right. That was
I liked it, and I remember I think Dana or someone from her team mentioned how like the hat Bellows wears is actually alive, and it's like, oh, it was his palisman the whole time. It's cool. It helps him see.
And I just want to assume the thing that took his eye.
That's
One of
great,
the
that's
many
awesome.
things that he's been bitter about for the entire series was in the season finale where they're like, oh, Ida did all these amazing things for you. And they're like, she helped me to learn it's okay to eat my eyes. She helped me, blah, 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 fan fiction. It goes to him. She helped me love teaching again after she left. I'm just
That's great.
That fucking killed me. He's just like, she was that much of a nightmare that she killed my love of teaching. And it was only after she was gone, she's like, I can remember how good it felt.
Oh god.
All right. Again, like this episode, it's basically just an introduction for Hunter. We get to see more of him and Luce hanging out. Then they go off to do their own separate things. The next one, Ida's Requiem, aka Ida's Ex. What did you guys think about this one? Because I loved all of it.
Oh, I loved it. It was beautiful and tragic. It was Ida at her
That was amazing.
finest.
Yeah,
Like bar magic
want-
is so pretty.
it really is.
This might be my favorite episode of the season.
I might agree because there's like so much happening. To be honest, we also got the two new coven heads. Well, that we saw them already technically, right? But
Yeah, we saw in the last episode, all the Coven heads have amazing designs. They all
they
look
do.
phenomenal.
They're really amazing. Really, really, really good.
The pose at the end, like when they showed all of them in that one quick scene, I'm like, yeah, they look like they're about to drop the hottest album.
They remind me of Bleach when you find out like all the captains of the Gote 13.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, first time you see him, like, okay, this is the fucking squad. Everyone here is just a badass. Like, I absolutely loved Darius, the Abomination head coven.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, I
yeah.
loved him. He's so prim and proper, but also like his line about like I'm gonna just like destroy you or get you for like ruining my cloak, and Eberwolf is like, hey, what is about like growling at him like, oh yeah, and for your treason too, I guess.
The one that got me from him was he's like, "Oh, we can handle this. But while you're at it, tell Aldor he's a hack."
Oh yeah, I love that line so much. That's great.
I'm like, so much sass, so much personality, and the same voice actor that did Hordak and She-Ra, which absolutely fitting.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
It's Horde Prime at its finest, and he is absolutely eating that shit up.
Yo, I've noticed that with Owl House so far. Like, they're getting some like star-studded, like recognizable childhood-wise voices. Like, I didn't know Katara voiced Amity.
A. Whitman,
Ugh, my mind's blown.
great cast. Let's talk about Rain, Ida's ex.
Mhm.
Because Ida has this whole thing of, oh shit, all my kids are going to be leaving me soon. Or she thinks. Liz is trying to find her way home. King possibly is looking for his daddy. And she's just like, oh my god, what am I going to do with my life?
Mm-hmm.
And then an old piece of her life walks in when she meets Rain again, who is just so adorable in our first introduction of them that they are like, oh my god, I don't put me on camera. It just runs away, and we find out they're trying to lead this rebellion where they're trying to say rehearsed lines and dying at it.
Like, how are you head of the Barb Coven, but have stage fright though? They're so cute, but just wants to fight for their right to party.
For their right to not get executed.
That too.
I honestly was confused though this episode about Ida and Rain's relationship. Low key, I thought it made it look like they were almost together. They
Mhm.
never were. I was like, Ida, you have too much game for this bullshit. Then we find the next one. Oh yeah, they were together. I was like, oh thank God.
Yeah, I was like kind of wondering why Ida was so hostile all episode because Rain's so nice and Ida's like just so mad at them, and I'm glad that was answered quickly because it was driving me crazy. Like, why is Ida being so mean right now?
She remembers what a bitch she was during the breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole episode is just wall to wall. I love it. The fights were great. The music was phenomenal. I love how when they play together, Ida's curse causes everything to like turn to stone.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
And that, the thing that stops Ida from like basically doing a murder suicide was gonna kill her, Rain, Darius, and Eben Wolf. And she's like, a picture of her with Luce and King flies over to Rain, and they're like, Ida, you have kids? And she's like, yeah, they're not mine, but yes.
Oh god.
Oh, and Rain sacrificing themselves just so Ida can get away. And like, I thought they were for real gonna like just like lock them up, but bruh, the seals on their forearms. I guess it does more than just
yeah.
block magic. That's terrifying.
I called that.
Ah.
You're not gonna bother to put a seal on an entire population without having a few kill commands, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll also say that Darius Abomination, like, he turns into an abomination.
I know, it's so cool. That's really, really cool.
Abomination magic has that waterbending kick, but it just looks so fucking cool. Like,
It
it's
really
the best
does,
looking of
yeah.
all the magics. So versatile, so cool. So many things they can do with it.
And his hair is like made up of it. It's so crazy.
Of course, you know how much more easy that is to style?
Oh, they never do black hair right.
The 100% true. It's either a fade or an afro.
Or an afro.
Or bald.
Ugh.
All right. So, is anything specific you guys want to talk about this episode? Because overall, I just love all of it.
I think it's cute that the whole time King wanted to tell Ida, like Ida thought King was gonna leave, but the whole time he was like, "I want to legally change my name." I did not
That was
expect
great.
that.
That was great.
I did not expect that at all.
One, I kind of never thought that he had a last name. And second, I was like, I feel like, dude, you're basically already her son / Clawthorn.
It's adorbs. And Ida's line about streaming is everything. No one uses crystal balls anymore. And I'm like, that's pretty ironic coming from Disney.
Yeah, the world's most powerful monopoly in entertainment are still fucking incapable of setting up a streaming service that won't shit the bed. Because they have to wait weeks. Like, I don't know why they don't simulcast these episodes. Like, as soon as that episode is like, they release it, they should just have that on Disney Plus. It's already on Hulu, which they own. Why are you waiting on this shit?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because binge culture.
I will say though, I'm still not sure if that, because we get to see a look at a demon that looks a lot like King.
What if it's just not his dad? I was like, oh, I'm
That's
actually.
what I kind of think.
It's like, I
Yeah.
just look like you.
just want him to be like, oh no, I just kind of knew your dad. He was like our king of our species. I was just a baker. I don't really have a connection, but I kind of want to meet you.
Ah, like you're just like you're not my son. You're actually like my great nephew. You're that old, but you're finally hitting puberty.
Like, oh no, I'm like your third cousin or something.
I'm your grandpa. I'm your grunkle.
I can see it happening because like the mural in episode 4 made his dad look so big. So I do think it'll be like a bait and switch where it's not really his dad. I do think that.
Dad looked like fucking Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat.
What if it's his mother? That's just what the females look like in their species.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Hmm.
We already know that the individual of King's species is a man, we're assuming, because that is a deep ass voice.
Yeah, it's the principal from American Dad, isn't it?
Maybe. Probably. Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, we all love this episode. I also love how they bring back bookworms, because that's established in the library episode that was supposed to be Gus's episode. But yeah, bookworms are a thing. They eat people. Is it Eberwolf or Ebenwolf? I think it's Eber.
Eber, yeah.
Yeah, Eberwolf.
Eberwolf was like leader of the Beast Coven and summons their beast, and it's this giant rat worm. I'm like, oh my god, that must be fucking bookworms, because we already see like the mouse that eat books.
Mm.
So I guess we'll have to move on to knocking on Hootie's door.
You must have loved this episode.
I did. I really did. It made it feel so sweet when everyone's saying, oh, filler. I'm like, that's too obvious. Something's going to happen.
A lot of stuff
Only
happened.
for us to find out everything happened.
And it's all thanks to Hootie.
Yep, 100% Hootie. Hootie decided in his infinite wisdom that he is going to help everybody, whether they want it or not. Like, just to run down again, man. Decides, okay, I'm as the only other demon here. I'm gonna help King figure out what type of demon he is. It's that one was basically a lore dump about demons. We got to see King dance, and we find out that King also has a ghostly whale. No Danny Pham fans?
No, I called it a supersonic screech.
That works too. I will say though, Alex Hirsch is a gift, voicing both of these idiots.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it when there's two characters on screen, but they're voiced by the same person. So it's just essentially you're talking to yourself. Literally that whole one episode of Rick and Morty when they're on Citadel.
Probably the entire Bad Batch show. B. Bradley Baker earning his fucking paycheck on that one.
As he should.
I think one of the highlight jokes for me for this one, though, King's dance is supposed to like, oh, this is how some demons communicate. Well, you try to talk and dance. King does it. And Hootie's response is just, oh, you talk about my mother!
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Really funny. Peak humor right there. And we go on to Ida, who is struggling with controlling the owl beast, and she doesn't really want to sleep. So what does Hootie do?
He drugs her.
He spikes the cookies, right?
Yep. That's okay if you're doing it for their benefit.
I agree. Yeah.
Such powerful dreams, though, of her of just basically cycling through Ida's life. We could assume, but like saw like her family life, how the owl beast affected her family dynamic, her relationship with Rain, and then like, who the hell is this cloaked moon having motherfucker? What did they do to Ida?
Or like we saw how the owl beast was captured and turned into a curse. We also, and this was huge to me, got to see Ida claw out her dad's eye.
Yeah. I'm surprised that got passed.
I actually had to go check and to see like when the fuck was the last time Disney Channel had a show with blood in it. A shocker, it was Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I remember that.
But before that, it was all the way back in fucking Gargoyles.
Ah, Gargoyles.
Oh, wow.
Good days.
It's like, it's exceptional that they were able to get this in there. Because they did not have to show the red, even though it's barely shown. I was like, okay, cool, blood in a kid's cartoon. That's exactly what they need. Showing a little bit of reality, baby.
You're right, totally.
And then we go on to Hootie solving Luce's problem.
Okay, but before we get to that, can we talk about that red string of faith with the owl beast, and by the end of the dream, Harpy Ida! Harpy Ida!
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know what design they're going to go for Ida, but this is better.
That's me.
This is better than everything I imagined.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
didn't think she could get hotter, but she got way hotter, which means Lilith could get hot too.
Yeah, I'm really desperate. I really hope she gets a form. She must do right, but I'm not too sure though, because like she also has to overcome her. You know, she has to go for what Ida went through, kind of, I guess. Not really though, because obviously she didn't have all the trauma throughout her life to deal with. So it might be easier for Lilith, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
Watch Lilith come back in her like Raven Harpy form, and it's like, she handled it all off screen.
I want to see Ida be really pissed about how quickly she made up the Albies. I think that'd be funny. It's like, I just it was so easy for you. Wow. Okay.
I just sat on the couch and meditated. It turns out it's really easy.
Exactly. That's exactly what I want.
Because Lilith would talk to the beast, not try to like fight it or anything.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be very on brand for Lilith to do that. So yeah, that'd be great.
In Doom Patrol, they have a character. I think it's Mr. Captain Negative.
Yeah, Mr. Negative, Captain Negative, something negative.
Whatever. He's the guy covered in bandages. He basically has this evil spirit that he can't control inside of him. He's like ruins his life basically. He can't see any of his kids. He's immortal now. Spends his entire life separated from his family and trapped in underneath these bandages. All of a sudden, this one lady shows up and he's like, "Oh, you have this condition too?" And she's completely normal. He's like, "What? How? What?" She's like, "Well, it was actually very simple. In my years of solitude, I made peace with it. And within 5 years, I was able to live without bandages." And he literally just sits down and just get visibly like, first off, he's sad. And then he's like super pissed. He's like, "I could have had my life back in 5 years." Just livid. And I just want that from Ida, who's just like,
yeah, I agree.
years, and you do this in a month.
That'd just be so perfect. I'm so ready for that to happen.
Lilith is definitely just gonna have the best design. I swear to God, her heart.
Yeah, she will. Like, yeah, she's gonna have the Raven stuff, I guess. Or...
I also constantly forget that Lilith is technically a redhead.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
She's just been dyeing her hair black all this time.
I hope she like she said she dyed her feathers. That'd be pretty funny. Oh, I'd like that.
That'd be great. Next up is Luce and Amity in the Tunnel of Love, courtesy of Hootie.
Hootie is the biggest Lucidity shipper I've seen.
I don't know how the fuck he built that shit with only his mouth, but I am seriously impressed.
Magic.
Hootie tries so hard. He just wants people to live their best lives. He's also very pushy about them living their best life. So I honestly did not expect them, Luce and Amity, to get together this soon. It definitely feel like it was coming. To have it like see this crescendo of like this whole wacky episode of like thinking like, oh, this is gonna be so goofy and fun. Like, no, this is actually really serious. King having this whole identity crisis, Ida having this whole mental breakdown of her relationship with the owl. And it's just like Amity and Luce, do they want to be together? Yes. I do. Everything about this episode I loved.
It really moved a lot along. And I also just love how in the Boiling Isles, people of like the same sex or gender being together or wanting to be together is just seen as like, yeah, you want to ask her out? Fucking do it. Go for it, bro.
Yeah,
the place
totally.
has demons. At that point, anything is fair game.
Yeah.
Have those like one demons are just, their entire heads are just mouths. At that point, it's like, my son brought his boyfriend home. Well, thank fucking God it wasn't the mouth monster.
Yeah.
I'm glad they don't use the demons as like an allegory or metaphor for like people of color, because I'm so sick and tired of that.
Allegory. At least it's not as bad as, what was it, Detroit Human?
Is that a game?
Like, what was it?
Detroit Becomes Human?
That's it. It was awful. Don't look it up. It was the same guy that did Heavy Rain.
Noted. Like, I gotta say this.
Like, I'm just having to send you guys everything, all these cutscenes now.
Great.
Gonna ruin you guys' day with this shit.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, we gotta see Luce and Amity get together. What's you guys' overall opinion? Like, is Lamity, Lumity, Lucity the thing that you guys have been really pushing you to watch this show? Or has it just been kind of like this is super cute on top of the story for you?
It's cute on top of it. I don't really, like, in terms of representation, I'm happy that it's, like, being treated so normal and regular, like any other couple. I'm happy about that. But I'm really engaged with Luce and her trying to find a way home. That is what's that's what's pushing me to finish this story.
Yeah, I agree. Just I really do love Lumity. Like, I think it's a great ship. They've done it really well. It's adorable, but yeah, I'm more invested in the plot than the shipping stuff, you know. So
I'm big in the shipping. The thing that gets me is the fact that we see an actual relationship form. Because I am tired of a ship being built up to over the entire series, and all we get at the end is like a fucking kiss.
Yeah, certainly.
Let's see them be together. Let's see that Kim and Ron relationship from Kim Possible. Let's see them actually how they work.
Hell, even Avatar is guilty of that. And they had a straight couple.
Which, of course, guilty of that 3 different times.
Ooh,
The one relationship that we saw, it was one that they basically created just to tank. Jesus Christ, was Korra and Mako awful together.
Yeah, I'm just personally glad it didn't like drag it out, have any drama. It just happened. That's like the best thing about it, you know. Like it was just happened very nicely. There was like it's just pleasant. It's pleasant, you know. Pleasant. That's the word.
The plot and the relationship doesn't conflict with each other. It's a natural progression too.
I just remember people saying that like, oh, it happened too fast. That was a thread I was seeing. I was like, the fuck did you just say?
I don't think it happened too fast. I
What?
think we're just too used to like fucked up pacing.
Yeah.
I think that's vivid to like teenage romance.
Ugh.
You realize how slow that it, like, I don't know what excuse you're trying to go, because this was like, well, decently paced to me. You try to say like, oh, people don't get together this fast. I'm like, bullshit, they get together faster.
It's just as
Yeah.
awkward.
Even more so.
A season and a half in, and they're already a couple? That's like goals.
I know, and they start off being rivals. He went from being best friends with a girl to dating her best friend's bully.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's something I was thinking about as well. That's like my one complaint. It is a bit messed up how she just like saw Willow's bully and was like, "Wow, I really want to make friends with this person," you know, like, and now she's a girlfriend, and I really do kind of wish we get to see how like Willow's reacting to her bully with this.
That's like Glimmer falling in love with Catra. Really fucked up.
A little bit, yeah. Or it'd be Scorpia falling in love with Adora.
Ooh. I like that. Spicy.
Overall, love the ship, love this episode, and I guess we gotta move on to talk about the next one, which is Eclipse Lake, aka the episode that had the really good fight in it. This is where we see like the Grimwalker. We find out that yes, basically Hunter is a clone. We also get to see Bellis's face. And it's a weird combination of you look both more normal and more fucked up than I was imagining.
Yeah.
He has like this old grandpa face, like with the sad eyes, but he has this because it looks like a tentacle to me, like of the left over from the transformation. Like these holes in it. If you actually pay attention, you can see like there's an actual crater in his head.
Ugh.
Like clearly the curse is still working, whatever is going on with him.
And that's why certain characters should just stay masked. It's more menacing that way, because once you see their face, you see their eyes and their emotions, and it's like, you're not a monster, or maybe you are. Maybe that's gonna hurt even more, because the fact is that's what the point of the mask is. I've been quoting that song so many times.
I loved him with the mask. I do wish he just kept it on all the time.
Yeah.
But they also wanted him to take it off so they can do the speculation of who is he related to for this other human.
I'm glad it's confirmed that he is a witch, because he has the ears.
We don't even know that, because he could just have fucked up ears.
Yeah, and like they're human sized, aren't they? And then they have the little bump that human ears do, and witches don't have that. So yeah,
He has a little cut on his ear, the same one
As
that Hunter has.
Oh my gosh, this just raises more questions. Oh my gosh.
He's like literally like when Hunter's like, "Hey, I want to go help. Let me don't let Kiki do shit." Basically, put me in, coach. And he's like, "No. The Titan has big plans for you." As he's like holding his shoulder, I'm like, "Sir, are you treating him like a prop? Are you using him as a piece of meat here?"
Horde Prime.
You're clearly not interested in his mental health.
Hunter is
definitely.
Hunter is literally the Hordak to his Horde Prime. At least Hordak learned to defect.
I'm just like watching, like, it's super creepy. He clearly just gonna use him to basically to merge whatever his plan is, because that is his ultimate goal. It's to send basically the Boiling Isles to the human world, not just to like use their world. He wants out of this shit. As they establish, not only is the ocean boiling, rain is acid, and apparently they have a knives season. It rains blades.
Oh
like,
my God.
no shit. Yeah, I would want to get out of this place too.
Not human friendly at all. I am ready for seeing Hunter be sacrificed and die for this.
Yeah, very likely. I think. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and this episode had Basically, Amity, who is now basically taken her school lifestyle of constantly needing to overachieve to prove that she is useful, that she is of value, to her relationship with Luce. I need to like do things for you to show that we are together, like I am worthy of you. I'm glad that she kind of gets broken out of that habit by the end of the episode. Also kind of wish that they played around with that a little bit more. This is a recurring problem that she will have, that she seems like a lot transactional in the relationship.
Yeah, I agree. It's like very interesting. Like I liked how they had that like lingering abuse from her parents like still affect her despite getting over the parents. She's still like it's still affecting her, and I did really like that. I think that was really interesting. It would have been cool to see it play more of a role because it was kind of just brushed off in this episode, like you said. So yeah, I would have liked to see more of that. I agree.
And the weird thing for me about this episode is that I really like the beginning with Bellows. I really like the fight at the end. Everything in between just kind of feels like nothing. Like they're going up against Kiki this whole time. And I am sorry, but I can't take Kiki seriously.
Yeah, I mean, same.
She hasn't had a single moment where she proves that she's to be taken seriously. She has someone to be feared. Every other instance of her doing anything, she's basically this comical little sidekick villain to Bellows. She's like paranoid throughout this entire episode of, I heard this annoying voice. Hunter, the Golden Guard, he is here to ruin my plans.
Yeah, if she wasn't lame before, she was lame in that episode. She was very silly. So
Very high strung, very high maintenance. Like rewatching that episode and rewatching the season in general kind of like fucked up my perception because I've been watching like this little Owl House Abridged series called The Golden Guard, where it's just basically focusing on Hunter trying to get his PS5 back from Bellows.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
great.
so funny and it's like
It
literally
really is.
really hyperbolic. They made Kiki like French and even crazier.
What's that called? I might need to check it out.
The Golden Guard Saga. Really good stuff. Tomato Sauce is the channel, I believe. He also does like parodies of Amphibia.
Which is a show that needs all the attention in the world. It's too good at bearing the lead, so the fun like sidekick episodes, like, oh, this is fun. It's only until like you find out all the information you realize, oh, they were building that up. It's not like Steven Universe where there's enough like obvious shit for you to actually theory craft about. This episode I really liked. I know this is probably a me thing, probably because it makes me feel old. Did the Tamagotchi thing that they use like to communicate between Luce and Amity, that felt way too old to be in this episode.
Yeah, I agree.
I
I
don't
felt
think
the same
any
way.
kid that's watching this, that's the age demographic, will have any fucking idea what that is.
I almost didn't even recognize it. And I grew up with those things.
I mean, like, this seems like something that the writers thought would be like, oh yeah, it'll be a fun little throwback. I bet the kids are just gonna see there was like, what's that? So I'll be honest, when they like did like, oh no, you just need to turn up and see it, I'm like, I can't read that. How are you getting this?
Like, I didn't know you could send emojis through Tamagotchis, or maybe that's just something they made up for this episode.
I'm pretty sure they made it up. I'm not too sure though.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
There
the
is
episode
the-
happens. They're trying to find Titan's blood, which is apparently the secret resource they need.
Oh, yes. T-Fuel.
And then it all ends with Amity fucking up, revealing that she has the key, Hunter fighting Amity for it. What do you guys think about that scene?
Ugh. It could have been such an easy, like, Hunter takes her hand and accepts the friendship thing, but he's so driven to help his uncle and to prove his worth. It's like, those two are kind of like parallels of each other in their households. And it's like, it was great. Honestly, it was a great fight. He was desperate and tired.
He's literally drawn. His eyes are just dots in that fight. He is so driven that he's like tunnel vision on just getting this key to prove that he's worth something to Bellows.
Yeah, and he makes the threat that like we know where you live, so like just give up the key anyway. So I'm like, bitch, if you know where they live, then just like, and if you think they're gonna be a problem, eliminate it.
Oh my god, that's the one thing that killed me about season 1. It's like, oh, we're looking for the owl lady.
Yeah.
And everyone fucking knows where she lives.
She's not that hard to find, guys.
Clearly, if you guys were actually trying to like find her, I know Hootie is like some ultra defense mechanism. I feel like you guys should be putting in a little bit more of an effort here.
Well, from what we see, everyone in the Emperor's Coven is very incompetent.
Unless
Yeah,
you're a
I feel-
clone or Lilith. I love this episode. Loved, again, abomination magic. The best magic. So much creativity. Could not imagine what would happen if this was like Gus's fight, or
Willow?
what if it was Rain's fight where they have just used the sound magic.
Good point.
Yeah.
This was more akin to hand, and Willow was just basically poison ivy. There wasn't that many plants nearby.
I will say I like the magic system in Owl House. I love like you have these different branches of magic that you can do. I do think that outside of abomination magic and plant magic, all the other magics just kind of sit there. I'm like, oh, you're good for a joke.
Yeah, yeah.
What am I supposed to do with you?
See, I want to see more like the construction magic and like other crap. There's like 9 of them.
I feel like it'd be a very small subsection of people that decide like I can do anything with my life. Let's do fortune telling. I
Ah.
want to be super successful. I can only do potion making. What magic is involved with that? I brew potions. Like you don't have magic then.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wondered about that as well.
Coven sigils steal away your other magics. So what the fuck do you do if you're just brewing potions all day? You get to control the liquids because that seems like the only plus I can see out of this.
Peacekeeper, at least you get like a bunch of animals.
That's somewhat cool.
Yeah,
Healing.
you'd think potions would be like under all of them, you know, like there's potions for like every kind of different kind of magic, but it's kind of weird to just have potions be this one section.
Just seems like it's a secondary skill, not one of the main.
Exactly, that's what I'm
9.
saying. Yeah.
Hmm.
I also find it hilarious how Basha is like, oh, I'm gonna be one of the best players ever. What's your skill tree again? Potions. I'm like, fuck.
Good to have a
You're in the
backup plan.
bitch coven. Let's be honest, the potion class is just the worst class by default.
Definitely, yeah.
I kind of want to see more like the healing coven. Obviously not useful unless someone is injured. Basically, they're that world's equivalent to hospitals.
It turns out they're secretly badass and they can just touch you and give you cancer. That was a superhero. I don't remember the one, but it was like an actual thing. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
You just can't do that.
like the cancer ray and Harley Quinn.
Yes, that's it.
Oh my
Oh, I
god.
love that. That's so good.
He's like, what the fuck? You gave me cancer. He's like, I'm sorry, I just tried to shoot you. I'm like, you gave him cancer, Harley. What the fuck?
I was just gonna say, I do like beekeeping. I'm interested in that one
Because
because
the
you know
versatility with all these different crazy creatures they got on there.
there is. And like Eberwolf like can transform into like some kind of werewolf. So I'm just wondering like if that's a thing beekeepers can do. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, go on.
Ooh.
I was gonna do my general thoughts. Like, I love this episode, but this is also one that I like. Again, the middle half could not exist to me, and I think I'd be fine.
Yeah.
It just
I
felt.
like
Oh, sorry.
one thing though. One joke that killed me was just Ida trying to learn how to master harpy mode, which is
Oh,
doing
yeah.
all the anime cliches.
That was great.
And she ends it by doing Naruto and having to make a pact with a demon, which was just go eat some voles. But Artis, what were you gonna say?
I've noticed like with the middle part with Gus and Willow, for some reason it just
oh yeah,
it
they were in this.
exactly, and it just feels a little out of character for them to just like, guys, we gotta make the soup, and then all of a sudden like now you're just listening to a mixture of human music, completely neglecting your friend who has this witch like disease essentially.
It sounds like a Gus thing to do. It doesn't sound like a Willow.
Exactly.
All right, you guys ready to move on to the last one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't my favorite episode, but it absolutely slaps. Yesterday's Lie. This episode sees us go to the human world. We get to find out that, surprise, surprise, Amethyst has taken Luce's place in the human world.
A shapeshifter.
One of those basilisks.
Crazy.
And what did y'all think of this one?
I was kind of underwhelmed by the creepy loose reveal, probably because I saw too many theories. So
See, this is why I don't watch theories
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, you're right. You're totally right. It was cool. I did like learning about basilisk stuff and Belos learning to steal magic, and I don't know, that was pretty cool. I guess that kind of thing. Obviously, the highlight for me was end with the emotional stuff with Luce and her mum. So yeah,
Most heartbreaking episode for me so far.
yeah.
Totally.
The Basilisk V. I loved how she kind of like laid into Luce. Like, you had a good life here and you still wanted to run away. What the hell?
How dare her mom on her reign in her creativeness. Kept getting people injured. It was just spider bites, Mom. 3 people went to the hospital.
That's more than usual. But Camila is
Mhm.
so cool, and like even like after she found quote unquote Luce by the creepy house, she offered to like, let's drive to the camp instead of like you taking the bus, and I'll even let you have the aux cord. Best cartoon mom. She loves Luce's creativity, and obviously from what we see, like those kids V comes across when trying to find more of those like Hexam Holden cards. That camp was very inefficient. They're still weirdos.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, the episode very much. I just love the idea of like Luce just having to get like this thick dossier from V explaining her social standing at her high school has just been completely changed. Yeah, I loved V as a character. She's very cute, very adorable. Love the eyes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
same.
Loved her struggle because I don't think the story was particularly strong, but I love all the little moments that kind of carried along the way. Like she's looking for cards, ends up finding like Ida's wanted poster where she was like stealing from this local bagel shop. And she was like paying in cards, these magic cards that she was just leaving behind.
Oh yeah, they kind of confirmed that Grunkle Stan thing, right? Where Ida was actually Grunkle Stan's ex-wife.
Because her name was Marilyn.
Possibly.
Yeah,
That was
that's
her
right.
name.
Yeah, like already a bunch of connections, but the name is the exact same as their ex-wife. So I guess that's a thing, and that's pretty cool. I guess like a little I
Robbed
don't
him blind.
know.
Well, that would explain where she got all of her human crap.
True.
Some of it. Lots of little Ida cameos. That was definitely fun.
Mm-hmm.
Then it brought in a certain character that reminded me too much of another character.
Literally the Ronaldo of the Owl House.
Older
Mm.
Ronaldo.
Voiced by
What if-
Sonic.
Was he voiced by Sonic?
Roger,
was.
Roger Craig Smith, baby. He wants
Oh
his,
fuck, I can hear it now.
wants his account verified. Gotta go fast.
I love though that they treat like the Ronaldo X character like he's actually even Ronaldo in the show was cuckoo. He would be actually dangerous at times in like his this is 100% true. And wrapped up in stuff like he was the guy in this one was like ready to dissect V just for clout pretty much.
Yeah.
Didn't Ronaldo try to dissect Steven when he was wearing that Sneeple suit in one of his watermelon peeps on a live stream?
Probably.
Yeah, those two were dangerous.
So I loved V, love following her through. I loved how Luce is basically just having to look through glass and has to then go confess to her mom, like, hey, you need to go help this other person. I swear this isn't a joke. And the second her mom learns, like, oh, this is so fun, sees the V and she's like, her whole world just like shifts and like, what the fuck is real right now?
I also like how they had to like hold it together, and then Lou says, "Well, you're handling it so well," and then she just breaks down. That was really good.
She's so strong. She's trying to put on such a brave face. Ugh.
She is.
We can't undersell how she beats the nerd away with her chukla, with her sandal.
Bruh.
Yeah, I love that.
I could just feel like my Spanish friends I felt a flinch myself of like, shit, she actually carries it with her. Good stuff.
And I love that Carmela just like lets V stay.
Mm-hmm.
Then she just turns to Lucy, and you just find out the thing that just breaks her heart is like, you intentionally ran away?
Mm.
This was an actual choice that Luce made to stay in the Boiling Isles. It's definitely the most emotional moment of this season by far.
Yeah, for sure.
It really puts like Luce at odds, and it's like even if she does find a way home, she made that promise that she's gonna stay home, and like she's made good friends on the Boiling Isles. She got a girlfriend now. She's with people who somewhat more or less understand her better.
Things that made her an outcast in the human world are the things that make her loved in the Boiling Isles. She's found her people. She's found something that she wants to do. And her mom is literally the only thing that's holding her back to the human world. That one connection. If her mom was to somehow like come to the Boiling Isles, Luce would not have a reason to go back.
That's kind of like why I don't really like the two worlds merging thing, like even more, because they're clearly making a big deal of Luce making a choice, and I don't know, it'd be weird to like set up that plot point of Luce having this really difficult decision to make, and then saying, oh, she doesn't need to make a decision because they've merged, so she can have the best of both worlds. I don't like that.
And this show has like been like, breaking the fantasy.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, this show has been too smart, too realistic to give that cop out of an answer.
Yeah, I'll be very disappointed. I can't see it doing that because Dana's said she doesn't like happy endings, right? So it's like it can't be that clear cut.
That's two options. Either the happy ending would be Carmela comes to the Boiling Isles. Two tragic endings would be if Luce stays in the Boiling Isles. Then the nuclear option would be Luce goes to the human world and has to break up with Amity because of it. Never sees any of her friends again.
See, I really can't see that happening. Like, I don't know. It'd just be I can't see Dana breaking them up at this point because
No.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that'd be
the build up.
Exactly. That'd be ridiculous. So that's not gonna happen. So
Would be really
What if it
neat.
did?
Oh, but
what if it did?
Just imagine all those salty tears.
if it did,
I mean-
it'd be organic.
I'd love it.
Be-
I'd love to see the shitstorm on Twitter. That'd be pretty funny. But besides that, no, that'd be terrible.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would be terribly sad, but it's also like we got our gay, we got to eat it too, but now we have to like it's treated like a regular romance, so like it's nothing special. If they have to like break up, if that's the ending, that's just the ending. Tragedy strucken.
I'll love it either way. I hope
Mhm.
they have enough time to like tell the story they want to tell in this limited amount they're gonna get. But I'm excited for it. Like overall, what do you guys think of this season in total? Because for me, better than the first season.
Hmm.
Great watching this like week to week. Like looking back on hindsight, there's a lot of elements I'm like, I could skip this. Didn't learn that much here.
Yeah.
While watching it, it's a lot of fun for me.
I definitely like season 2 more than season 1 since like it's more focused. It knows what it wants to do. It constantly reminds us of like Luce needing to find a way home, like find a portal. How can she do it? And it builds off of it everything episode after episode. Like
Yeah.
figuring out that there's like Titan's blood in the key. She finds the journal. Gotta like work with the Echo Mouse to get some information. It's really building towards something that I'm really excited to see pan out. And now thinking more on it, it is sad and it's very unfair that like their season 3 got cut, but I want to say I'm very confident with like Dana's team, especially with the writing that they're doing. They're not wasting any time whatsoever because they really can't. The pacing is still really good. So like I'm confident that it's going to end well.
Like obviously the fast pacing, I really like having payoff every single episode. Like you there's always a big reveal, and I really like getting answers to things so quickly. Like it's been good, but I also like the fast pacing also means we do miss out on like development for these side characters like Willow and Gus, as we said earlier. So I do wish we had like more for I do wish they didn't have to get shafted for the season to tell its story, but I guess that's how it goes.
Pretty much. I'll make sure you guys remember this though. They only found out that they weren't gonna get like the full third season until after they were done with the second.
Oh.
So everything that they did is how they were gonna do it anyway.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Gus wasn't gonna get 3 episodes regardless. Willow wasn't gonna get an episode in this half. She's probably gonna get one the next.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she kind of has to. Like I said, I think Gus's episode was just to introduce his powers. So I think we'll have one Willow to kind of like really show the full extent of her powers, and then that'll be the end of that'll be the end of Willow and Gus.
Yeah. We'll do something in the finale.
Yeah.
More than just making a speech like last time.
Maybe I don't know what's the deal with like Luce's dad, and maybe they're purposely like keeping him out of the picture. But one thing's for sure, we can confirm that Luce got her creativity from her dad, since Camila said like, "Oh, I don't have the imagination for this," while fighting like that guy.
Do you think they're ever gonna answer like what happened to their dad? Because I can totally see them just like ignoring it the rest of the show.
It's probably not that important.
Yeah, I don't
It
think
really
it'll amount to
doesn't feel
anything.
that important.
No.
No.
They don't even show his face. He's like not that important at all.
Like we get hints of like Ida's dad, who I just always assumed was dead, but it turns out he's alive.
Oh my gosh, same.
Like he's definitely gonna show up later.
Yeah, that was very surprising. I didn't think we'd see her dad either, but there we go.
All Hell's strength is with the moms, not so much the dads.
I mean, I think the dad may be a little bit scarred from his last time he was with Ida. Yeah, I really like this season. Definite improvement over the last, and I'm just excited to see more.
Yeah, same. Really excited.
So excited.
Sorry, no. What was your idea for Hunter's not getting a redemption?
Oh, right, Hunter not getting redemption. Oh boy, I'm just trying to remember it all. I don't know. I can't even think. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that.
Link above to Charles's video. Definitely gotta go check it out. I know I will. I just want to say thank you all for watching. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Artiste. Thank you all for helping me make this video, because honestly, I might not have done like a full like Owl House review, just because talking about each individual episode after they come out just feels like such an unrewarding experience. But talking with you guys through it is way more fun.
Oh yeah, I had a blast. Thank you so much. Really appreciated you calling for me. So yeah.
Same. I
Here's one.
love an audience.
You guys want to shout your channel one more time, then we'll call it quits?
Sure. Charles, you can go this time.
Oh, okay, sure. I was waiting for you to go. Yeah, I'm Charles J. Thomas on YouTube, obviously. Yeah, be sure to check out my Owl House theories, and yeah, pretty much it.
And I'm Artiste from Artiste TV. I talk about lessons and cartoons that I like. I did a fat ass retrospective on Black Dynamite, which is really great, and everyone should watch Black Dynamite. It's on HBO Max. Do it. Watch that. I upload when I want to.
Not saying that she's lazy, but when she does release shit, it's always really good. Thank you all for watching this video, making it all the way to the end. That's always super nice. You are the real special ones. This has just been my sarcastic podcast on The Owl House Season 2 Part 1. Thank you all for watching. It's been a great time. Subscribe to all the channels, like all the videos. Please have a good one.